The ones.
They are the ones. Hello, Dad.
I think the most we had was when we first started doing it on YouTube, where we had one meeting where we had about 20 people who watched it.
Really? Oh.
But it soon died off.
Very, very nice community
Okay, we are now live on YouTube.
Okay, we may as well start then, and then Roger can join us if he comes. So, right. So, welcome everybody to the review committee meeting, standing orders, procedures, and agreements with third parties. So, as I said in previous emails, this is a first for this committee, doing it remotely. I don't know how it will work, but I just thought we ought to give it a go to see how it works, as we haven't had a meeting since February earlier in the year. Okay, so everybody's got the papers, haven't they? They were hand delivered a while ago. Okay, so we'll start with apologies. Oh, yeah, apologies. Yeah.
Apologies from Roger Hargreaves.
Okay. And we need to go around to declare any interest and to say one of the two statements that has been prepared for you on the agenda. So do I start, Lizzie?
Yes, if you do.
Okay. So I, Leanne MacDonald, I'm a councillor of List Parish Council and a member of the Review Committee for Standing Orders, Procedures and Agreements with Third Parties. I confirm that I have read the agenda and considered each policy listed, have read any deputations received, and have no interest to declare in any of the policies being considered this evening. Okay. Keith, would you like to?
Yeah, okay. I'm Keith Budden. I'm a member of List Parish Council and a member of the Review Committee. I've read all the papers on the agenda and I've no interest in declaring any of the items today.
Okay. Maggie?
I'm Margaret Nibbs. I'm a councillor of List Parish Council, a member of the Review Committee for Standing Orders, Procedures and Agreements with Third Parties. I confirm that I have read the agenda, have considered each policy listed, have read any deputations received, and have no interest in declaring any of the policies being considered this morning.
Howard?
Yeah, I, Howard Lindsley, am a councillor of List Parish Council and a member of the Review Committee for Standing Orders, Procedures and Agreements with Third Parties. I confirm I have read the agenda, have considered each policy listed, have read any deputations received, and have no interest to declare in any of the policies being considered this morning.
Thank you. Claire?
You're on mute, Claire.
Sorry. I, Claire Williams, am a member of the List Parish Council and a member of the Review Committee. I've read all of the papers provided for the meeting and have no interest to declare in any of the items being considered.
Thank you. That's everyone. Okay, we'll turn to the minutes of the last meeting, the draft minutes from the meeting on the 26th of February. Could I ask if there are any amendments?
No.
No.
This is about Ashley. Okay. Howard?
No amendments.
Okay. So the minutes are agreed.
We get a first and a second, Leanne.
Sorry?
We get a first and a second.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do one of them.
Howard and Claire, I think.
Thank you for reminding me. So we go on to any matters arising. Okay. So shall I start?
Mm-hmm.
Under 30R20, 30.2. It says probationary policy not received. Chair to contact former councillor Angela Wright to request her first draft, because Angela Wright, a previous member of the council, had agreed to look at drafting a probationary policy. What Lizzie found was an email from Angela Wright to our previous assistant clerk, dated, I can't remember when it was dated now. Well, it was Lizzie found it earlier this year, and I sort of don't want to go into it because the probationary policy is not on the agenda to look at. But basically, Angela had made a few points to Francis, our previous clerk, including a number of questions that needs answering. So that needs a bit of work. I did contact Angela yesterday, spoke to her on the phone, who confirmed what she put in the email to Francis, and she confirmed that actually, due to workloads, etc., it hadn't been followed up. So that's something that we'll probably need to put on a next meeting agenda. 30.3, I think that we did get a data breach policy from Keith. I think that Rogers was going to have a chat with you, Keith, about it and whether we could slim it down a bit.
Yes.
But we've done that yet.
No, we haven't. But no, we won't be able to slim it down because what's in it is what we're required by law to have in it. So
okay,
we'll have to keep it as is.
Okay, we'll leave that for another time then. 30.51 was a query about what statute implied, and I think that this is about the current law. The statute is what we have to follow when it's been made law.
Yes.
Is that what you think, Howard?
I can't remember doing that, but I think that sounds like what I meant. Yes.
Okay.
I can't think why I asked the question if it was an obvious answer as that, but I don't know. But I think you're right. It is whatever is the law of the land.
Okay. And 30.5.2, Lizzie, you did follow this up, didn't you? And the answer to that was yes, it should be reviewed by the Finance Committee, along with the financial regs, the internal control and the investment strategy. So I will email Liz, the finance officer. I'll copy in Claire Williams, the chair, and Lizzie, and see how we go from there. Okay. Then we reviewed a couple of policies that actually went to full council to be noted and approved. Under any other business, I was to investigate the frequency that LPC policy should be reviewed and what the statutory and good practice requirements are. So I emailed and I got an email from Amy Taylor, who's the Member Services Officer at HALC. This was back in April. And her email said, depending what the policy is, depends on the frequency of the review. The majority of policies don't need an annual review. Lizzie, what I'll do is I'll send you the email on so you don't have to copy it down. What she said, the majority of policies don't need an annual review unless there is a change to the policy that takes effect before the next review date. You know, if there's changes in the law, for example. She said that the best practice is for the council to review standing orders and financial regs and any committee structure member once a year. But the other policies would be for the council to consider the frequency of reviews. And she's suggesting every 2 to 3 years, which is actually what we're doing now. And she said that the inclusion of a review date, which is what we're doing, is good practice. So we're actually doing, I think, what she's suggesting we do. Because I had a look at all the policies that we have on our website, and apart from I think the financial regs, everything else has been or is being reviewed today or has been reviewed in the last 2 to 3 years. So I think we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing. And, you know, we're carrying out good practice. So, anybody got any comments on that?
No.
Yeah. Okay then, so that's the minutes dealt with. And the matters arising. So, we've got 3 policies. So, the equal opportunities policy, I'm on 5.1 now. Right. So this was last reviewed in 2017. So I'm assuming everyone has read it. And does anyone have anything to add to the current policy? Shall I start? Did somebody say yes?
Yes, Howard.
Okay, Howard, shall I start with you then?
Yeah, okay. On the front page,
Yeah,
the last paragraph in section 1
yeah,
is LPC is an equal opportunities employer and
Yeah.
provider of services and contractor. Now, that doesn't sound right to me, so I'm not sure what contractor means, and I can't suggest a replacement.
Does it mean that in something like in cases where, you know, we build the pavilion, we contracted somebody to do the drawings and build the pavilion? Is that what it means?
I don't know. It could well mean that, but I don't think it fits well into that sentence, and I don't think it's clear what it does mean, and I think that's the problem I have. It might well be intended to be that, but I don't know. Otherwise, I would suggest we just leave the "and contractor" out, but that might not be a good idea.
It might not be, in terms of the fact that we do contract people to carry out work for us.
Yeah.
That's what I took it to
Yeah,
mean.
that's true. Yeah, of course, we've got things like the grass cutting now as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh, you have, yes, yeah.
Would the sentence make more sense if it read LPC is an equal opportunities employer, contractor and provider of services?
Yeah, yeah, I think it would, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, should we change it to that then?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I was looking
Can
at
everyone
the.
see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, was that it, Howard?
That's all on that page.
Right. Okay.
If we go to the next page,
Yeah.
under 5,
Yeah.
it says adopted April the 10th, 2017 to be reviewed in 220. I think that's good, but my comment is that phrase is not consistent with all the documents we are looking at. And I think we should try to make that consistent, because I think that is good.
Yes, well, that date, those dates will change, Howard, because we're reviewing it today, aren't we? And it'll
Yeah.
go to the parish council meeting, hopefully this month. But if not, it'll go in December.
No, sorry, you misunderstand what I'm saying.
Do I? Right.
All these documents,
Yeah.
that wording there, I believe, is good, and it's what we need. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is other similar documents don't have the same wording.
Oh, so you're not saying change it in this one, you're saying we need to add that word into others?
Well,
I'm saying we should use that format for all documents.
well, I've looked at the other documents. In fact, I looked at them yesterday, and apart from 2, which haven't got anything on at all, they all say adopted by Lisp Parish Council on, and it's got the date.
Yeah, but I don't think they all give the review date, do they?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Do they? Well,
Well,
okay. I'm just saying there are documents within the parish council which are equivalent to this document.
Yes.
Well, just a different subject, and I am proposing that we standardise so that that wording comes on all documents.
Yeah. Well, we have been doing that actually, and all of the documents, there were only 2 that I looked at yesterday: privacy notice for residents and privacy notice for staff and councillors, that actually don't have that on. All the others do. So I don't know if you're looking at old ones but anyway, they all should have that on. Okay.
Yeah.
So anything else, Howard?
Right, and then on the 3rd page,
Yeah.
notes, section 149 of the 2010 Act.
Yeah.
Well, I think there were more than one Act in 2010, and I think if we're going to go down to the level of saying which section we're talking about, we should put the name of the Act in there.
So that's the Equality Act 2010.
If that's what it is, yes.
It is. So can we put that in, Lizzie, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So section 149 of the Equality Act 2010.
That reads better, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then a bit further down, second bullet point, to advance equality of opportunity between persons who share a relevant protected characteristic and persons who do not share it. Now that's saying, you know, it's covering all cases.
Yes.
So I think that just makes it a bit more confusing.
I think that's the wording lifted direct from the Act, though, Howard.
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so we blame the government, right? Okay, if it's the words in the Act, that's fine.
The only thing I would say there, though, is on a bit further down, Lizzie, where we've got on that 3rd page, where we've got protected characteristics are defined in section 4 of the, we got 2010. Oh, you've changed it already. Beat me to it.
Yeah. Okay, and again with that 3rd bullet point, foster good relations between those who share protected characteristics and those who do not. And again, that's everybody, but
yeah.
Is that a quote from the Act?
I would think so.
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't do any harm. It just.
No, I mean, I think it's achieving what it wants to achieve, because it's really saying that the equality thing is all encompassing, isn't it? That's the.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just looking at ways of simplifying things, because not so much this document, but some of them get quite difficult to understand. And I think trying to get it into some sort of plain English, I think.
Yeah,
is the
I mean, I agree with you, but I think the issue is that if we're quoting from the Act, we've got to quote verbatim. Just.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Is that it, Howard?
That's all. Yeah.
Okay, Claire?
Nope, I have nothing further to add.
Maggie?
No, I'm happy with it all, thank you.
Keith?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay. I've just got a couple of things, Lizzie. On the first page, under number 1, the fourth point down, LPC understands its obligations under the Equality Act 2010. And I wondered whether we could actually say a bit more about that, which legally protects people from discrimination in the workplace and in wider society.
Does the, sorry, I'm
No. So
interested.
it goes in after Equality Act 2010.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I see that. What I was saying is the first paragraph at the top of the page, I think says it there, what you want, is opposed to all forms of unlawful or unfair discrimination.
Yes, that's about LPC, but this is about the Act. So it should read, LPC understands its obligations under the Equality Act 2010, which legally protects people from discrimination in the workplace and in wider society. That's the end.
Yeah, well, if we're doing that, we then need to put a full stop there and say LPC is fully committed to its duty imposed by.
Okay.
No, I don't think we do. I think that Thomas fine has.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is, and comma,
Yeah.
LPC is fully,
Yeah.
okay. I'm not very good at punctuation, so I'm happy with that.
Everyone happy with that? Okay,
Yeah.
so we need to change then on page 2 at the bottom when it says review. This policy will be monitored and subject to regular review, adopted by List Parish Council on. We'll have to.
And yeah, you have to leave the date blank when you.
We'll have to, yeah, leave that. Yeah.
And
And
read
then-
for now, so it's
to be reviewed in 2023.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. When's the date of the next council meeting?
Next month.
Yeah, it'd be the 3rd Monday, wouldn't it?
So it's in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, so if we put that date down, Lizzie, as the date in.
Is it not next week, Howard? Because it's the 3rd Monday. Because the 2nd was the first Monday. Today is the 9th is the 2nd Monday.
Today is the.
It's the 16th. Yeah, 16th.
So 16th.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
16th. Okay.
I was forgetting this isn't a Monday there.
Yeah. It's easily done at the moment. All the days merge into one.
Yeah.
Great. So that's done.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So,
So we're all agreed on that.
Yep.
And that will go to the next full council to be noted and adopted.
yeah.
Okay, so if we turn now to 5.2, dignity at work, bullying and harassment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, sorry, what are we looking at there?
Right, we've finished that one, Howard, and we're now going on to dignity at work, bullying.
Oh, okay, right, yes,
Okay.
sorry. I was reading that one at the time you said it, and I didn't pick it up, right.
Right, okay. Keith, are there any things that you,
No, I mean, to me, I think it's fine. The only thing I would note is that which Howard's correct on, it hasn't got the review thing right at the bottom.
yeah,
But other than that, I can't see anything wrong with that.
okay.
So-
Maggie?
I can't see anything wrong with it either.
Okay. Sorry, Keith, had you finished?
Yes, yeah.
Right, okay. Claire?
No, all good with me, thanks.
Okay, lovely. Howard?
Keith already mentioned the one point I had on that.
Okay. With regard to me, I just wanted to note that it's not to put on here, but this was last the disciplinary policies. It says that on the first paragraph, it says this policy should be read in conjunction with LPC's grievance policy and disciplinary policy, which we actually reviewed in October 2019. So I'm just thinking that maybe next time when this policy and the one we're doing at the moment needs to be reviewed, they should come at the same time, really, shouldn't
Makes
they?
sense, yeah.
So we might have to put a different date on here, but anyway. The only thing I had under key principles, the third point down, LPC will not tolerate bullying or harassment of its employees. Should we put all counsellors?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, 5 instances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
also wondered whether on the next line down, it's got ACAS, whether we should have the full name of ACAS. I couldn't even remember what it stood for.
Advisory, conciliatory, and something service.
Arbitration service, yeah.
I think it's all right like that, because I think if you put the full name, it's always called ACAS on the media, and it's the name by which the organisation is known.
I mean, I think what Lizzie's just done there is fine. Just put it, and then the acronym and that in there. Can't do it. Where's it in brackets?
Yep. Okay.
Sorry, what did you say, Keith?
Yeah, I like what Lizzie's just done there of putting the name and then the acronym in brackets. I think.
Okay, lovely. And I wondered whether we could add right at the end of the sentence, unwanted by the recipient, and which makes them feel uncomfortable.
I don't think we need that.
Don't we?
I don't think so, because we defined bullying in the next paragraph down.
Yeah, I did look on the ACAS side to see what they said, and that was one of the phrases they used. But if you feel that it's covered,
I mean, I'm relaxed about it. I don't really mind whether it's there or not. I just don't think we need it.
I think I think the way it is, it's all encompassing. The trouble is, if you start giving a bit more definition of it, what that sometimes does is exclude some cases that you don't want to exclude.
okay. Well, I don't feel strongly about it. It was just a phrase that I thought was quite useful that they used on the ACAS website. Okay, then. Anything else on page 2?
Can I suggest we remove the word, change the word chairman to chair?
Oh, yes. Where was that, Lizzie?
Oh, it's right at the end, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, or chair, yeah, of LPC, yeah. So where it's put, Right, okay. Normally, we would review it in 2023, but I'm wondering whether we should do it along with the grievance policy and disciplinary policy in 2022.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Since the two are interlinked, I think it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Should we put in brackets then, after to be reviewed in 2022 in conjunction with LPC's grievance policy and disciplinary policy, just as a reminder?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree. On that chairman thing, I'm quite happy with chair. That's not what I was going to say. But we agreed on the previous document to be consistent with that review paragraph, and I think that any further information, please contact the clerk or chair of LPC. I think that's good. So I think that should be on all documents.
Yeah, but there might be I don't know. I think it might be something that we might want to think about as we go through each document in the future. Because there might not be additional information. I don't know what the additional information is actually.
Well, I don't, but I think I see it as saying publicly, we're open to listen to your comments on that sort of thing. And I mean, it might be that the clerk or the chair say, well, we're doing that because that's the law of the land, full stop. Perhaps in slightly nicer language than that, but I
don't know. I mean, what further information would they want? They contact the clerk or the chair.
Well, I don't know that, because we've put the information there that we think is needed, but we don't know whether members of the public reading this are going to agree that it's all there. I mean, I think it's just a PR thing, to be honest. So and it's just for consistency. I think if we have it in one, we should have it in all.
Well, maybe it's something that we need to bear in mind when we are looking at our other policies. I'm not sure we should just put it on there. I think we should wait until we review the policies and decide whether it needs to be on there.
Okay, yes, I'm not suggesting going through all the policies at the moment.
Yeah.
We do that as we review it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Having proposed and having agreed on the previous one to have some consistent working like the previous one, and then this one has an additional line, and I think we should have that additional line either on all documents or not on any of them.
Okay. So you want that put in on the previous document that we've just reviewed?
Yes, I think that would be the ideal thing to do.
Do other people agree? I mean, I don't have a strong view. I'm just wondering what is the additional information?
Yeah, I don't have a strong view on that one way or the other, to be honest.
Well, the problem is, you say, what is the additional information? And we don't know, because if we knew what additional information people are likely to want, we'd have put it in the document.
It might be something like, if you have any queries about this document, please contact the clerk or the chair.
I think that's probably better wording, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I'm quite happy with whatever the wording is. I'm just saying we should be consistent.
Yeah, I think if you have any queries, please contact the clerk or chairman rather than for further information probably makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, happy with that.
There is, please contact the clerk or the chair of the LPC. Okay.
Yeah.
And we put
the
that
other
on the
thing,
previous document as well.
Sorry, Howard?
And we put that on the previous document as well.
Yes, will you put that on the previous document, Lizzie? But before you go to the previous document, I just wanted you to take off something on this document, which is you've got to be reviewed in 2022 in conjunction with the LPC grievance policy and disciplinary policy, but we don't want the equal opportunities policy. That stands alone. Lovely.
It also says on there that it was adopted on the 16th of November 2020. It's only the 4th today.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not adopted till full council.
Oh, right, okay.
So we're just putting that on as a reminder.
Fine.
Okay.
I think, sorry, Liam, I think Lizzie put the equal opportunities policy on it because the first paragraph of that says that it is read in conjunction with the dignity and work bullying and harassment policy.
Sorry, say that again, Claire.
Sorry, I think Lizzie put the equal opportunity policy bits at the bottom of this one because the equal opportunity policy says that it is read in conjunction with this one.
Oh, sorry, Lizzie. Yes, it does. Yes, sorry. Could you add that again? Sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. I hadn't read it. I just put it down and hadn't read it. So all those three should come together then. Right, okay. Are you okay with that, Lizzie? So on the, sorry, going back to the equal opportunities policy, I don't know if you've done it already, but we obviously need to put on the bottom there to be reviewed in conjunction with LPC dignity at work, bullying and grievance policy. Lovely. And that was 2022. Yeah. Lovely. Yeah. Okay. So everyone's happy with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lovely. So that will go to full council this month and reviewed in 2022. Okay, so the final policy, which is the more complicated one, is the code of conduct. So I sent you quite a few documents on this, two of them really for information, but the ones we need really are what I put as 3B, which is an amalgam of the old List Parish Council Code of Conduct dating from 2012, which hasn't been reviewed, and NALC. And our previous clerk, Francis Cook, went through List Parish Council's Code of Conduct and the NALC Code of Conduct and amalgamated the two. Since then, and it was draft, it's never been adopted, and since then we have the East Hampshire District Council Code of Conduct. So what I'm suggesting is that we just look at the updated amalgam that Francis did, which is the document 3B, and East Hampshire's District Council Code of Conduct for Councillors 3D.
Can I make a comment on these?
Yep.
When there was the last shake-up of standards and things like that, Eric Pickles did it, and when he was Secretary of State, I was on the Standards Committee of East Hants, which had to be disbanded because of the new law. But one of the issues that came up is that East Hampshire have to implement this. That's where the monitoring officer is. And it would make it very difficult for a monitoring officer if every parish council had their own copy of the Code of Conduct for councillors. And we agreed to recommend to all parish councils that they should have exactly the same Code of Conduct as the district council has. Otherwise, it tends to be a bit chaotic. And as somebody who was part of the unanimous decision to recommend that, I am saying now, I believe we should adopt whatever East Hampshire have. And because that's the one that they're used to implementing.
Right. I'll open it up for views from everybody.
Well, can I just throw a further spanner in the works there? Because East Hampshire's own Code of Conduct has just been reviewed. In fact, I sat on the review committee for that, and is due to be validated by East Hampshire District Council, or accepted by East Hampshire District Council, either at its November meeting or its January meeting.
And is it different from this one that we've got, which is dated the 10th of the 3rd, 17? Is it very different?
Yeah, this is the current one. As I say, there is a new one which we've worked on, which is due to come before full council at East Hants, either in November or in January.
Yeah, I think Roger was keen that we ought to have something in place, even though we knew that East Hampshire were looking at their.
That's fair comment. Yeah, I mean, there's not substantial changes, I have to say.
Well, I would therefore propose.
Howard, can we just listen to this here for a minute? Yeah.
Sorry.
On the East Hants website, the council's code of conduct, it says it was adopted at full council on the 17th of September 2020.
It's already gone through then. Okay, sorry, it's my mistake.
Okay, but that isn't the one we've got, is it?
No.
This was. It's called the council's code of conduct, so I assume it's the correct document.
That is the one, yeah.
Okay. What I found was that the NALC one and the one that Francis amalgamated with ours, the NALC and the List Parish Council, was more comprehensive than the East Hampshire one. And what I was going to suggest were that there were certain paragraphs in the East Hampshire one that could be put into the amalgam that Francis had done. I mean, there are two. We can either continue with looking at the two documents, or we could, if that has been adopted, we could do it at the next meeting.
So I think that would probably be wise, just that we make sure that we're in line with the current thinking, because I know on the one that's on the East Hants site now, which I've forgotten full council had already adopted, we did so much at the last meeting. But we spent a long time and with two lawyers actually working through it. So,
yeah.
What
I found on the current one, though, the one that I sent to you all, was that it talks about things like cabinet panels,
yeah,
which we don't have, and would seem rather odd if we had it in our policy.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on
That's
that.
why I was thinking we could probably just take certain paragraphs out of there to ensure that we're not missing anything, but take away some of the obvious phrases and terms that we don't have in our council.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
in the one that I sent you, if you look at the paragraph 3 on the East Hampshire District Council one, on 3D, paragraph 3, it talks about criminal convictions and a fine of up to £5,000 if you don't declare disposable pecuniary interest. I don't know, does that apply to parish councils?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's my opinion, it does.
Yeah, it applies to any elected person.
Okay then. Okay, all right.
Is there any value in adopting the new East Hampshire one as it is, but issuing a schedule of derogations where, for example, in the East Hampshire Council, if it says cabinet, it actually means parish council or whatever?
I think that as a parish council, that's a good idea. I think as a parish council, we actually need to go through it.
Yeah.
And
I think, yes,
compare it with one that France has put together, because it might be that we want to just adopt the East Hampshire one. It might be that we want to add something to it for our own situation.
Yeah.
I was going to say in particular, the NALC one, NALC is National Association of Local Councils, i.e. 10 parish councils. So there might be something in there that we found we absolutely needed to add. But I think the proposal that we relook at this at the next meeting of this committee is probably the best. But I think we need to have a decision as to what we're going to do between now and then. And I was wondering whether it would be wise to adopt the East Hampshire District Council one, so that there isn't a gap.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with you, Howard. I think I would say that for the moment we agree just to extend the period of the current one.
What I was thinking about in terms of a meeting was a very quick meeting, say in a month's time.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about having, waiting 3 or 4 months as we normally would.
No, I'd agree with that. I think we just carry. My personal view would be we carry on with the existing one, and we look, as you say, we look to review this in a month's time or something.
Yep. Okay.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Okay then. So, any other business?
Not for me.
Not from me.
Howard?
No.
Maggie?
No.
No. Keith? No. The only thing I've got is we had a finance committee on Monday night, and we talked about the grants policy. And I wondered whether we should be re-looking at the grants policy, even though it was only done in 2019, whether we should re-look at that within this committee soon, given that there was some debate about the procedure. And also there is a grants policy, a grants application procedure, and an application form. And I suddenly thought, wouldn't it be good if you could just have it in one document?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just need Claire's input on that. What do you think, Claire? Because it falls under your sort of remit.
I think reviewing the policy isn't the worst idea we've ever had, but we should do it in conjunction with Liz and Sarah.
With what, sorry?
In conjunction with Liz and Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah, we could invite them to the meeting then, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Okay then. And I just felt that rather than have a grants policy, a grants application procedure, and an application form, you know, we could try and do it in one document or even just two. You know, policy and procedure with a grants form.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, certainly I mean, again, just like East Hampton example, our grant form has the policy as the second page of the form. You see what I mean? So,
yeah. Okay, I'll chase that up then, shall I, with Liz and Sarah. Okay, so date of next meeting.
Leanne, sorry, if it would help on that as well, I can send I can send one of these East forms to Liz and Sarah, or to you, and then so we got a sort of model to base it on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
If you could send it to Lizzie and myself.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
And then we'll have a discussion. See, so, date of next meeting.
Any chance you could send the East Hampshire District Council Code of Conduct for me in a Word document?
Yeah, I can do that, Lizzie. Yeah.
It would make my life easier.
Will we be able to set a date now? What about early December? Or second week in December?
I think if you're going to do it early December, you should do it as early as possible because
I'm just asking people time to read the documents, that's all, and for Lizzie to, you know, things to do.
That's okay. I've got availability. If we could do it maybe Wednesday the 2nd.
Yeah.
End
of lockdown.
There is supposed to be a finance committee meeting on the 2nd.
Ah, right. Okay. Following week.
Do it on the 9th then.
Planning committee on the 7th, but the 8th or 9th.
What about the 9th then? Wednesday.
9th's favourite for me. Yeah.
Maggie?
Yeah. What time are you going to be doing it, Leanne?
Well, I was thinking, is this time okay for people? 10 o'clock?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Is that okay for you, Claire? 9th of December at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, that's fine.
Howard?
Do we need a 2-hour meeting? 1 hour sufficient?
I'm sorry.
So 10 o'clock seems fine for me on the 9th.
On the 9th. Sorry, Lizzie, what did you say?
1 hour or 2-hour meeting?
2 hours. And we may actually finish early as we're doing today. That's good. I think that's it. Can't think of anything else I have to say. Just to thank everybody for reading all that stuff, because there was a lot. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, everybody. And those two policies will you send them out, Lizzie? To
Equal ops and dignity at work, or the code of conduct?
the equal ops and the dignity of work, just so we can have a look at the amendments we've made, and it will go on the agenda for the full council, the next full council in November, and they can be noted